Hey there, dear Spellweaver community, and welcome back to another episode of Spellweaver Ranked. And before we start tonight's session, I wanted to make one little apology. Maybe I haven't noticed it because of my uploads schedule, but I haven't been playing Spellweaver for I think about 1 or 2 weeks, and yeah, I have a new guilty pleasure, and it's called, or it happened during the Steam summer sale this year. Killing Floor 2 was on sale. And ever since I've got that game, I played the shit out of that game, and I neglected pretty much every other game that I have on Steam or anywhere else. So, yeah, but of course, you know, I'm still trying to get, still getting into Spellweaver. Of course, there are still gonna be episodes, and I got the week off for today, and I saw that the Masters are happening on this Saturday, which is in about 3 days or 4 days, I'm not quite sure at the moment, but it's this Saturday, and we're gonna make something, or I'm gonna make something special. On Sunday, I think, one day after the Masters, I'm gonna upload the whole tournament, and I'm gonna cast some games. So I think we're gonna be pretty good on the Spellweaver content. And so also today, I want to make this really quick because, you know, I got myself a little bit of a movie night tonight with these 2 movies. This one is kind of shitty, I heard, but this one is pretty awesome. So quick games. What is awesome for quick games? Maybe nature, maybe like rage, aggression, but since you've known, if you watched like a couple of Spellweaver ranked episodes, you might notice something that I'm really horrible with the forces of good. I hate angels. I played hate bears, and that didn't go as planned. But I'm pretty good with Dominion, with rage, and with corruption. Also, at the moment, by the way, I'm holding the crown as I'm ranked 238 with a rating of 1002 that I managed to get with Zombie Enoch. Pretty awesome games that we had last time. But you know, I never learned my lesson, so today I'm gonna drop some ranks with the Forces of Good and with a deck that I have managed to do myself, and it's called Naiva Aggression. Because I thought about this, like there is, of course, Rage Aggression, which makes sense because Rage has a lot of abilities. Also with basic Zash, the ability is just 1 aspect and 1 mana, and you make one, or you render 1 enemy card completely obsolete in terms of blocking. So makes sense. But what I thought about myself is, like, you know, nature actually maybe a little bit better for aggression, because the downside of Rage when they don't really get the ball rolling with aggression is they are only 2-speed creatures and they get blocked by pretty much everything in the book. But nature has a little bit of an upkeep there, because most of the creatures are 3 speeds and with the ability of Naiva to make everything on the board swift. I think we're pretty good. And I made like a couple of games with that, and I actually ended up winning a game in about 2 minutes. And it's actually just 2 cards that we have to get in order to get the ball rolling, in order to hit phase really fast. So this is what we're gonna run with tonight. We have 4 times Grove Guardian. Grove Guardian gets +1 attack, +1 HP for each other elf that enters the field under your control this turn. 1 aspect, 1 mana, and yeah, gets +1/+1 for each elf that hits the deck on the turn. And with a card that we get to in a little bit, it's pretty OP, and actually managed to get me 1 or 2 games. And we have 2 times Elf Scout. Just an awesome card for early aggression. It's a 4-speed, the only one in the game. The only one that comes close is Drayla, the vampire. When you have like 2 Dominion, I think it was, you can, she also has, instead of 2-speed, she has 4-speed. Pretty awesome for early aggression though. We have a foiled, don't forget that, Silverfang, which is a 2/2, 2 aspects, 1 aspect, 2 mana. Silverfang is deadly in combat against creatures of evil, which means, of course, corruption, rage, and dominion. And it's a 2/2, 3-speed, awesome card. Then we have 4 times Elf Warrior, just a vanilla 2/2. Also with 1, also that's a theme you see right here. The creatures are not costly, which is also, of course, good for early board establishment. A card that no one plays apparently, but I think it's pretty cool. It's 3 mana, 1 aspect, a flying elven Skyrider, also a vanilla 2/2. Nothing special there. And then we have the god tier card in this deck, basically. It's Brothers in Arms. It's an elf warrior. And when you play Brothers in Arms from your hand, play a copy from your deck without paying its mana cost, shuffle your deck. So if you have 2 aspects, 4 mana, you can play, or 5, let's say you have 5 mana, you play Brothers in Arms, these 2. Of course, if you play one, you play the other one in the deck. And then, when you play the second Brothers in Arms from your hand, you have 4 creatures out there, which is 8 damage. And if you hit Swift with Naiva, then you have 8 damage right off the bat against the enemy's face. And if you have a Grove Guardian out there, this guy is going to be a... Wait. Yeah, it's a 5/5 basically. So you hit overall for 13 damage in 1 turn, if you do it correctly, of course. And if the enemy doesn't have anything that just obliterates you. Elf Commander is a unblockable 3-speed, a 3/2. 2 aspects, 3 mana. Pretty costly efficient in if you compare it to the other ones, but pretty awesome card. And he has the ability, if you make him sleep, another elf you control is unblockable until end of turn. So we also can get around that if, like, the enemy tries to kill a Brother in Arms, and his brother, obviously, then as well, we can try to avoid that. Grove Sentinel, a card that I just really like, especially the artwork is pretty awesome. A 2/3 ranged Reach. Reach was added with the latest patch, of course. 3 mana, 2 aspects, and yeah, pretty awesome card. Not much to say there. 2 speed, 3 damage, 2 HP. Pretty good, especially because it's range. Then we have, well, of course, you played on the support line, which is pretty awesome as well. So, then we have Ancient Trend, and I like this guy's ability. Whenever Ancient Trend is declared as an attacker, which means if you do damage against a creature or the enemy hero, up to 1 creature the defending hero controls has 0 speed until the end of that hero's next turn. Which means that the card on the... if our phase is over and it's the enemy's turn to play, that creature is still 0 speed, which means, if you can see right here, if it's a 0 speed, it can't attack and it can't block, so it's obsolete. And if we use Naiva hero ability, make him swift, we can do that right away. And then a card that I just really love. It's fucking costly, but it's pretty awesome. Only downside is it's a 1/1. So it gets removed by pretty much everything in the book, except of Ray of Righteousness. Flying, the Fae of Charm. Whenever you declare an attack, ready an enemy creature, stupefy that creature for the duration of the combat, and it attacks its controller if able. So actually they hold on, there is like freaking Shadowdown Loader interrupting me again. So yeah, they actually like they added the stupefy thing because I think it was also with the latest patch. I didn't even realize that, but before it was just like if you attack with this, you say, like, if the enemy has like an ancient red dragon, for instance, you say, okay, I wanna take control of that ancient dragon, and then it hits the enemy for 5 damage, which is pretty cool. For the duration of the combat. Not sure what would happen if I would, like... I just remember, like, if the enemy plays a milling deck and he has an, let's say, like a 2020... how are they called? The Deathbound Incarnate. If I take control of him and I stupefy him, then he should be a 0/0 and he should be dead. That would be pretty interesting, to be honest. But yeah. My main course of this is, of course, that if the enemy plays like a huge creature, like a 4/4 or a 5/5 or whatever the case may be, we can take control of this for 1 turn, attack phase with him if the game goes any longer. But potentially we don't want to play this because, yeah, it's aggression, so we want the game to be over really fast. And if we have 3 aspects and 3 mana, then the game definitely goes on for too long and we might be dead at that point. We have 17 spells. We have 2 times Ambush Strike. An allied creature gets +2 attack, +2 HP until end of turn. Then we have Mantle of Winds, which we can attach to a creature. This creature gets +1 SP and is flying. And when this creature dies, return Mantle of Winds to your hand. So pretty awesome right there. 2 times Tornado Outbreak, return a creature to its owner's hand. Basically nature's removal spell, which is not too great, but pretty okay. We splash in a little bit of red. Only, as you can see, only for the spells, because Fireball 4 times, 3 damage to a creature or hero for 2 mana is freaking great. Boiling Blood, attached to a creature, this creature gets +2 attack. another pump spell, obviously. When the creature dies, return boiling blood to your hand. Same as Mantle of the Winds there. And of course, 4 times Massive Assault, because attacking creatures you control get +1 attack. So even more damage into the face of the enemy. And then we have no significant shrines. We just have regular old nature and rage shrines right there. So, for now, we are ranked 238. And we have a rating of 1002, and as I've said in the beginning, you know my reputation with the Forces of Good. I tend to suck with them, I tend to lose all games with them, and I actually established this deck myself. So, I tried it out in friendly games and it worked pretty well. I don't expect anything, but we'll see if it's gonna work, and that was pretty fast. In game number 1, which is against Metal Zoa 1. I know this guy, and Hermelian Green seems to be a theme at the moment, by the way. That's a good starting hand, actually. I'm gonna keep that. That's pretty good. We can go for the Growth Guardian right away. Or even for a Silver Fang, if we go for the Spark. Gonna play this guy, though. Could make him Swift right away. Wouldn't make too much sense, though. And we can also go for the Massive Assault, then. Yeah. Oh! It's interesting. And pretty shitty. Is he... Let's see... What does Wisdom do? Oh yeah, of course he plays him. He's flying. Okay, so he's not ranged, so it's not too bad. Thinking about... Nah, I'm not gonna use Fireball there, but what I will do is I'm gonna play a Massive Assault and attack face with this guy. See if he blocks. Doesn't, okay. You're just delaying the inevitable, my friend. And if worse comes to worse, we can still Fireball him, so not a big deal there. Still not really threatening in any way. He has 1 mana left. Might have a Power Discharge. Elf Warrior. Well, sure. So that's a 3/3 now. So you want to block now, my friend? He does. Alright. Or he doesn't. Okay. Good. My strategy works out pretty well. Could play another Massive Assault next turn, but I think I want to get rid of the Shifting Alright before it gets too crazy. That sucks. Oops. Boo! No chill. Down to 13. Okay, we have 3 fireballs. That's something to start off. Yeah. Do I make him swift? Sure. I have the mana for that. 3 damage. There we go. Might as well use it. It doesn't have any mana, so... yeah. Also, we have 3 speeds, so he can't attack us. Unless he uses spells. Which he might still have. For some reason, I was like, maybe he has another Arrow Barrage. But for 1 creature, apparently worth it. Yeah, that guy sucks, because it's protected, so I can't attack it with any spells, and it might be our downfall. Okay, so before that happens, I'm just gonna Fireball this. To reduce the damage. Get another one of the puppies out. And yeah. And if he attacks, we just block. Unless he has another Arrow Barrage. which would not be too surprising at this point. We can double fireball this. He might pump for HP, so wouldn't matter too much. I goes for speed even. So we didn't hit a creature, unless I would have like tornado out. I'm just gonna tornado outbreak him to delay him a little bit there. Gonna massive assault. All right. Needs more creatures though. And we have one more tornado outbreak in our deck. That's a pretty cool card deck, by the way. Just realized that. Sweet. Another one of these suckers. Come on now, creatures. There we go. That's a start. Fireball. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't have enough God, I'm an idiot. God, yeah, you can tell I haven't played in a bit. Goes for I feel stupid now. Justifyingly so. So that's 8 damage. So yeah. Would have been 4 damage otherwise. That I could have made like this turn. Ah, fuck. Yeah, alright. I deserve that because that was freaking stupid. Ah, God. Never gonna happen again, hopefully.